Hello children, good morning to all of you. This is Manisha and my dear children, after a long time I once again welcome you to my virtual classes. So my dear children, today I shall be presenting before you a new topic and the name of the topic is called Decentralization in India. So my dear children, in my previous videos lectures I have told you about the importance of power sharing, about the system of federalisms, about a new topic called how federalism is practiced in India, what makes India a federal country. So dear children, in today's videos lectures we shall be learning the importance of decentralizations in India, or why the Indian society extended the power sharing to the local government. So my dear children, already we have known that the federal structures of government is having two tiers of government. So in Indian society, since we are following the federal structures, the Indian society is having two tiers of government. But there is a problems, and what is that problems? The Indian states is very big in area. When we make comparisons to the independent countries of Europe, the Indian states are very big in regions. And apart from that, already we have noticed that the Indian states are internally diverse also. So when the Indian states are big in area wise, or when the Indian states are internally diverse, it needs to have the power sharing within the state. Why we need to have the power sharing within the states? Because of the internally diverse, because in area wise the states is very large here. Apart from that, my dear children, the federal power sharing in India, it needs to have the another tier of government, that is known as the local government, because this is the rationale for the decentralizations of power. Because when we adopted the system of local government, we need to have decentralizations of power. Because without extending the power to the local government, the system of governance is not going to be effective. And because of those reasons, we are following the concepts of decentralizations of power in India. So my dear children, when we are following the concept of decentralizations, we are having another level of government, that is known as the local government, or it is the third tier of government, and they are in the form of Panchayat Raj systems or municipality corporations. All these are called the third tier of government. So right now, my dear children, we shall be learning what do you understand by decentralizations, or what is called decentralizations. Decentralizations means when the power is taken away from the central as well as from the state government and given to the local government is called decentralizations. So what do you understand by decentralizations, my dear children? Decentralizations means when the power is taken from the central government as well as from the state government and given to the local government is called decentralizations. That means since we are following the concepts of three tier of government, so here the power distributions are happening between the three tier of government. And how it is happening? Because right from the central government or from the state government, we are giving some powers to the local government, and that is known as decentralizations. And why we practice decentralizations in India, we shall be learning now. Hello children, right now I shall be telling you that why decentralization was practiced in Indian society. So my dear children, due to all the following points, we understood that decentralization was practiced in Indian society. Point number one, the Indian states are large in nature. So it is in area wise, it's very big compared to the European countries. The Indian states are very big here. And internally, it is diverse in nature. Because we see the geographic ethnicity, we see the cultural ethnicity, so we see the internal diversified culture in Indian society. And point number third, as we see that the problems which can be solved at local level very effectively, because the local peoples, they can solve the problems very effectively at local level. And point number four, the local peoples can take the very effective decisions. Why they can take the very effective decisions? Because there is a reasons, my dear children, as we know that a person who is coming from a long distance and to involve in the process of decision making process may not be take the appropriate decisions or may not be able to take the effective decisions. So who can take the effective decisions here? The people who are staying at local level. Why? Because they know the culture they know the cultures, they know the peoples, they know the situations, they know the context of the peoples, and that is the reasons they can take the very effective decisions at local level. And due to that also, we are practicing the decentralizations in India. And apart from that, as we see that the peoples who can directly participate in the process of democracy, and at the same time we are participating in the process of decision making, because we are involving in the decision making process, all the peoples, because democracy, it talks about equal participations. So when we have the local government, all the peoples in the nations, they are equally participating in the process of decision making. That is why they are influencing the decision making process. So my dear children, in order to strengthen the decentralization process, we see that the major steps was taken place in 1992. In 1992, the major steps was taken in order to strengthen the decentralization process. And what are the major steps that was taken place in 1992? Point number one, it is constitutionally mandatory to hold elections at local level. Because the constitutions of India, which given the mandatory order to hold elections at local government bodies. Point number second, seats are reserved for the ST-SC peoples. Why? Because the SC-ST peoples are very backward. They are economically less developed in the society. To develop them economically, the seats are reserved for the ST-SC people. Point number third, 1/3 positions are reserved for the women. So the women will be having a better chances to involve in the process of decision making process. So they will be participating at the local governmental bodies, at the local government, and that is the reason nearly 1/3 positions are reserved for women. So in Lok Sabha, we have very few members of women, but in local government, nearly 1/3 positions are reserved for the women. And point number 4, the last ones, as it says that the State Elections Commission's duty is to organize elections at panchayat level at the same time at municipality corporations, because these state elections commissions, they will be organizing elections regularly. So my dear children, due to all these factors, the decentralization process was strengthened in Indian society. Already I have told you that these are the important factors which influences the decentralization process in Indian society. And in order to strengthen the decentralization process, all the major steps were taken place in 1992. So thank you so much for listening to me.